Hi boys and girls, welcome to your flipped classroom video on reviewing your study guide for your quiz tomorrow on prime factorization and order of operations. Feel free to pause this video at any time, and if you have any further questions, please feel free to reach out. The first thing that we're going to do is talk about our factor trees. And what I want you to do is then find the expanded form and the exponential form. So 36 is our number. I'm going to break down 36 into two factors of 6 times 6. You could also use a couple others. You could use 3 and 12. You could also use 9 and 4. But regardless, your answer should still come out the same. Now, I can break down 6 into two other factors of 2 and 3. Both 2 and 3 are prime, so I'm going to circle them. I cannot factor them any further. And again, I'm going to factor 6 down to 2 and 3. And I'm going to circle them because they're both prime. Now, when I write my numbers in expanded form, I'm going to write them in order from least to greatest. So I have 2 times 2 times 3 times 3. Again, if you broke this down into 4 and 9 to 3 and 12, you'll still get the same expanded form. Exponential form, 2 is my base number, and there's 2 of them. So it's 2 squared times 3 is my base number, and there's 2 of them, so 3 squared. Now my next problem, I'm going to factor 45 into 5 times 9. 5 is a prime number, so I'm going to circle it. And I can factor 9 into 3 times 3. 3 is also a prime number, so I'm going to circle it. In expanded form, I'm going to start from least to greatest. So it's 3 times 3 times 5. And again, you'll notice I've used both dots and multiplication symbols. You can use either to show multiplication. Exponential form would be 3 squared. 3 is my base number, and there's 2 of them, times 5. Now I'm going to apply the order of operations to solve each expression. So in this expression here, I'm left with adding and subtracting. So when I have adding and subtracting, I'm going to work left to right to solve. So I'm going to do 9 plus 8, and I'm going to use my caret to show that this is my first step, which is 17. I'm going to rewrite my expression. 17 minus 5 is 12. And I'm going to circle my answer. On this expression, I'm also left with adding and subtracting. So again, I'm going to work left to right to solve. 13 minus 4 is 9. 9 plus 7 is 16. And again, I'm going to circle my answer to show that this is my final answer. Now these next few problems are slightly more challenging as I begin to add in multiplication and division. So when working with order of operations, I want to work left to right to solve any multiplication or division first. In this case here, division comes first in my problem, So I'm going to divide 50 divided by 2, which is 25. I'm going to bring down the rest of my problem, plus 4 times 9. Now, before I add, I still have to show multiplication. So next, I'm going to do 4 times 9, which is 36. And I'm going to bring down the rest of my problem. And then my last step is to do 25 plus 36, which is 61. For this computation, feel free to use a calculator to check your work and my work as well. So again, I'm going to solve any multiplication or division before adding and subtracting. And I'm going to work left to right with the multiplication and division. So I'm going to solve for multiplication first. 30 minus 9 divided by 3. So because I still have division in the problem, I'm going to solve for that next. 9 divided by 3 is 3. I'm going to rewrite my problem. Woo! 30 minus 3 is 27. Again, I'm going to circle my answer to show that it's complete. Now, these order of operation problems are adding in the parentheses as well as your exponents. So according to order of operations, I'm going to start inside the parentheses. So within the parentheses, before I multiply, I'm going to use my exponents. So 5 squared is 25 times 3. And I'm going to keep my parenthesis because I haven't solved for the entire thing yet. Minus 6 divided by 2. My next step is to multiply inside the parentheses. 25 times 3, or if I have 3/4, equals 75. Minus 6 divided by 2. Division comes before subtraction. 6 divided by 2 is 3. So I'm going to rewrite my problem. 75 minus 3 gives me 70. Just kidding, 72. Just making sure you're paying attention. Again, looking at this problem, I'm going to work inside the parentheses. 10 minus 5 is 5. I could also solve for my exponents in this step as well. So I'm going to do 52 minus 6 squared is 6 times 6, which is 36, divided by 2. Squeeze in my addition sign, plus 5. Now, before I subtract or add, I'm going to solve for any division. So 52 minus 36 divided by 2 is 18, plus 5. Now I'm left with adding and subtracting, so I'm going to work left to right. 52 minus 18 is 34. I'm going to rewrite my problem, plus 5. 34 plus 5 Drum roll, please, is 39. Isn't math fabulous? Okay, now I added one more problem onto your study guide for you to go through and try to challenge yourself a little bit more. So I know this problem looks a little overwhelming and a little challenging, but go ahead and try to test yourself a little bit. Start with your numerator. This is one big numerator, and this is one big denominator. Use order of operations. Start with anything inside the parentheses, and you can use your calculator. 4 times -3. This is another way to show multiplication. 4 times -3. And then you also have exponents. -3 times -3. For a lot of these little steps, feel free to use your calculator, but I want to see if you do attempt these. I want to see your work there to look at your thinking. This will not be a question that's a part of your test, but I just wanted to see and challenge you a little bit more. All right, have a great night, and everyone's gonna do awesome tomorrow on their quiz. Bye.